Guys, well, thank you guys for taking time, obviously, to talk to me. I think it's this afternoon. Excited about Wednesday and praying that we get to Wednesday. I think one of the toughest things is every time you get on the internet, you see that there's another program that has to pause because of COVID-19. And, that's a tough thing for us. We want to play the game on Wednesday. We want to play our game on Friday. It's been a long time since we had a chance to play a basketball game, obviously since March 11th. And so our guys are excited about the opportunity and hope it happens. We're happy that we're getting a chance to play a season. We don't know how many games that we're going to get, but we're going to try to enjoy every game that we play. And so I like where our team's at. We've got a couple days to prepare for our first game, a couple more days to prepare, and like I said, I keep saying this, we're excited about our opportunity. So I'll take questions for you guys.
Go ahead, Mike.
Coach, nice to see you. I want to actually kind of explore a little bit about what you just talked about. Locally, we've already had one college in ECU. They pulled out of an MTE. They were going to travel. It wasn't going to be home. But for you, what do you tell your players as now that we're into game week when, like you said, we've seen teams already pull out, have games canceled. We haven't even started the schedule yet. How do you kind of keep them focused and prepared?
Mike, it's tough. I've watched the news the last couple of days more than I have in a long time. I've gotten away from it because at first it was so negative, and now I'm watching it just obviously because I know everything is spiking around the country and even in North Carolina. We're talking about continuing to do the right stuff, social distance, wear your face gear and your mask and everything else, and obviously try to stay away from people as much as they can and wash your hands. It's tough because there's really, I don't think anybody knows how to not catch COVID-19. We know that there's ways to help prevent it or where it doesn't spread as much. But every day I worry about my guys because obviously once they leave me for practice, I just pray that they're doing the right stuff, and we preach that to them. But certainly you don't know if it'll happen.
Go ahead, Jonas.
Coach, I saw a report this morning on ESPN saying that there was a conversation had among all the black coaches in college basketball who said they're going to do something to honor John Thompson during their first games, maybe wear a towel over their shoulder. Were you a part of that conversation? Will you do something to honor Coach on Wednesday?
We will, Jonas, and I think it's a great thing. I think it's something that we all wanted to do. Coach Thompson was, he was huge in our business and our profession, not obviously not just as an African-American coach, but just a coach in general. And, the way he helped young men and changed a lot of lives. And then, by the way, a good father, good teacher, and, certainly, the impact that he's had on college basketball. Definitely on Wednesday, we will do something to honor him.
Go ahead, Todd.
Hey, Kevin, have you decided on a starting lineup? And if so, are you at liberty to let us know?
I would definitely be at liberty to let you know, but I have not decided on a starting lineup. Andrew just asked me that, and not Andrew, but I had several people have asked me what we're going to do about starting lineups, and I don't know. And I know people think when I say that, they think I'm just hiding some. I really, literally don't make a lineup until after I see how we go through walkthrough. And if somebody's not locked in and focused, I've had guys who I thought were going to be starters, and they wasn't focused in walkthrough and didn't know what was going on and blew a couple assignments, and I've changed it. And so it's going to lead up until game time. We have right now, in 2 days, I've got 8 guys that I feel comfortable that could start this game, and I don't know which 8 it will be right now.
Coach, is that a good thing too, to kind of keep the guys on their toes and keep them focused heading into a game?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing because I don't want anyone to settle in and, obviously for the next couple of days, don't prepare. These 2 days leading up to the game are just as important as the days we've had before, maybe even more important because you really have to lock in up until, the last couple of days has really been more about us. And now we have a chance to focus in on Charleston Southern. And so I won't let you relax around here. You have to earn it, and you have to earn it every day. I'm not going to just reward someone who does it one day and doesn't do it for the entire week leading up to it. So, but I will say this: the guys that I'm going to start, I feel good about when that happens, because like I told you, it's 8 that has the possibility to do that. And I'll leave it up to you guys after we hang up, man. I'll let you guys say, man, he said 8, pick your 5. So that'll be a pretty good exercise for all of us.
Thanks, Coach.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Kevin, obviously you mentioned, looking forward and hoping to get to Wednesday. Obviously, with everything with the virus, you guys have been through a lot in terms of wondering what was going to happen and if a season was going to happen and what your schedule is going to look like and possible changes. How good is it going to feel to be able to kind of put all that outside stuff to the side for a couple hours and just be able to go out there and play basketball?
Andrew, I think, obviously this is why we do what we do, and excited to get the opportunity to play. And basketball is basketball. Obviously, if you give, basketball players a ball and somewhere to play, we can find some excitement in it. And so our guys are extremely blessed and honored to have the chance to be able to play on Wednesday. And that's why I know you guys, I keep saying, man, I hope so. I hope so. And I do, because it's tough right now. And as you know, it's been a challenge every day when you get on Twitter, it's some coach or some team that's shut down or some coach that contacted the virus, or it's a tough thing. But I'm happy for my guys that we're right there, but we're not there yet. We got to get there. We got a couple of days, because anything can change. And as you guys know, things change in, a split second when it comes to this virus. But we're grateful. I know our guys are excited about it. Our freshmen are dying to play. Our upperclassmen who haven't had the opportunity to play since March, they can't wait to get back on the court.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Joe.
Coach, assuming you get to play, what's the look and feel of these games? How different do you anticipate it? And how is that going to affect your team with the fans and Reynolds and all of that?
Joe, I think I told Chucky and those guys, I think you were sitting in my staff meeting this morning. It's different. It's awkward. It's strange. We're figuring out, even up to the day, social distance and how do you stay 6 feet away from someone. We're all, obviously as coaches, we're going to wear a mask on the sideline, and the players, when they come off, they're going to wear a mask. But how do you do film? How do you do halftime? How do you do pregame? It's different. So what we'll miss is we're one of the teams that has a great fan base, probably the best in the country, whether we're playing in Reynolds or in PNC. And so, we thrive off of getting a steal and a dunk or a three-point shot and just getting that eruption from the crowd and that energy that you normally would get. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen anywhere. Even the arenas that can have some fans, it won't be the same. We have to figure out how to create our own excitement. I've been talking about that with our guys. It's almost like the atmosphere of the game would be like a scrimmage or a practice every day. And you got to figure out how to obviously come together and be loud. And our guys have to bring great energy for each other.
Perfect. Thanks.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Rod.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you again, man. Who has impressed you over these last few days or last few weeks in practice as far as work ethic, standing out, that sort of thing?
Yeah, Rod, the work ethic is a tough one for me to answer, to single out anyone, because, we right now on this roster, we have 14 guys, and those guys, I would say 11 of those guys are gym rats. I mean, they live in the gym. So I don't want to get on the work ethic and then kind of knock a couple guys out who have been working really hard. The guys who've stood out, I would say probably in the last 2 weeks has been more of our veterans. Our young guys have had moments where I thought they've done really good job, but the consistent guys have probably been, when you look at Manny, he's been consistent. DJ's been consistent. Devin's been consistent. And then you can throw in a Jericho and you can throw in a Braxton. Our young guys have had moments where they were really good. But because they're young guys, that keeps them from being consistent, and it's not fair. It's not their fault. They just haven't been able to go through, college practices for this long and know how to be consistent every day. And so I would say more, if you ask me, I would say more than individuals, more of a group. Our group of veterans have been the most consistent guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Coach, I just want to ask you, what have you seen out of Charleston Southern and looking up for Wednesday?
Well, they're good, and they're returning 3 starters, possibly 4. Fleming is as good as advertised. 6'4", can really score, has done a tremendous job of working on his three-point game. Awesome defender. He'll put you in a lot of those guys. When you look over the past couple of years, they've had a lot of guys who've transferred out of their league. And one of them obviously be Neely, who went to Carolina last year. Those guys are good players. When they become seniors, they can play in any league in the country. And he's got a great supporting cast with a couple more upperclassmen and then some freshmen, freshman of the year last year who can play. They're talented. Barkley does a good job with his team. You're going to see them get up and down. They take a lot of threes. You'll see, some different offense. Sometimes they run Princeton. Sometimes they can dribble drive you. But they play with a lot of confidence, and they believe that they can win. And so it's a very good basketball, well-coached team.
You guys got anything else for Coach? All right, Coach, it looks like